It's the summer of 2022. I'm waking up with this burst of energy, this motivation inside of me after watching all of the Andrew Tate shorts on YouTube. I'm literally just gonna wake up today. I'm gonna study for an hour. I'm gonna work out. I'm not gonna eat junk food or any of that BS. I'm just gonna stay locked in because I want to get jacked. I want to get straight A's. And as I'm telling this stuff to myself, as I'm getting out of my bed, I do this thing which I know I shouldn't have done. I go over to my iPad that's plugged in, and I take it out, and I just sort of check the notifications there. As I'm checking them, knowing that I should get up and get ready for the day, I see it. Wait a minute. That guy just posted. He hasn't posted in a month. Okay, how about this? I'm just going to watch a couple minutes of YouTube, because I'm going to eat breakfast anyways. I'll study afterwards. So, I get onto my bed. I take out my iPad, and 2 hours go by. I'm sat there on my bed just doom scrolling for 2 hours. Then I'm like, wait a minute, no. That's not what I said I'm going to do today. So I go onto my computer, and I'm about to pull up the stuff I'm going to study. But then I just tell myself, okay, let me just go check Discord for a second. Oh my god, that friend hasn't been online in a year. I'm gonna play some games with him. So I get onto the game with him after he messages me, telling myself, you know what? I said I was gonna study, but it's fine. I'll just do it in the afternoon. It's only 11 o'clock right now. 3 hours go by. I'm sat there on my desk. My brain feels fried after just playing for like 2 hours straight. But wait a minute. That game literally just updated. Oh my god, dude, the game's got updated. Let me go play with him. Suddenly, it's 5 o'clock. I told myself I was gonna work out in that time, but no. I just keep on playing. I just keep on doing these habits I know I shouldn't be doing. But it's like this force inside of me that's struggling against me every time I try and improve my life and do the good habits. It's like there's this thing that's stopping me. Suddenly, it's 6 o'clock in the evening. And I hear my dad call me down. And as I walk down the steps, I already know what's about to happen. I go down, and he's literally just there with this disgusted, almost disappointed look on himself as he asked me, What did you do today? Did you study? No, you didn't study. You told me you were going to study. Wait, what? You didn't do anything productive today? Get off the game. Go and study right now. This is unacceptable. I'm going to take away your computer if you do this again. As I go upstairs with genuinely holding tears back, I go on my bed right here. And rather than just enjoying the rest of my day of the summer vacation, I lay down on my pillow and I just start crying silently, knowing that tomorrow's going to look exactly the same as today. I tell you that story right there because that was literally my life right there. Even though it sounds relatable, that was my life right there. For 4 years, I was miserable. I hated the way I looked. I would go to the mirror and punch myself in the stomach because even though I knew I should work out, I knew I should study, I knew I should stop playing these video games that are literally just frying my brain and ruining my motivation, I just couldn't. It was like there was this force inside of me that was just resisting me, that was stopping me from doing these good habits. And so when I tell you this is a no BS guide, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to be like the rest of the stupid Asians that are scamming you of your time with those cute little videos talking about the whiteboard method to make studying feel like video games. I'm not going to give you any of that BS. You clicked on this video because you know the only thing stopping you from losing fat, from quitting your addictions, from getting straight A's is just doing the things that you say you will. And I struggled with that for years, dude. I'm not even joking, years. And so, I'm going to give you the exact 3-step framework I used that took me from a fat gaming addict to losing over 17 pounds and genuinely changing my life around forever. And it all came from just curing procrastination. So this could be the most important video that you watch all year. There's 3 steps to stopping this BS procrastination that you do. And the first step that I had to take was I had to understand why I actually procrastinated. It's not enough to just give you the exact studying technique or the exact motivational advice. If you don't actually know why the hell you're procrastinating, why you have this almost force. It's pulling you away. Like there's this little parasite that every single time you try and do the good habit, it pulls you in the opposite direction. And that thing that you're experiencing, that almost frustration you feel, that force that's telling you to do these bad habits you know you shouldn't, is this thing that I like to call the video game fantasy. The video game fantasy is just this belief system that I built up over the years that genuinely screwed my life over. Because what would happen is that back during COVID, when I was this fat little Genshin Impact addict, I'd watch these videos like how to stop procrastinating, how to do the good habits, and nothing would happen. Because I was doing it. I was going into these videos with the wrong expectation. I had this fantasy that there was some way, some technique I could use that would make it as easy to level up in real life as it would in a game. I thought that there was a way to get that instant progress, that easy level up that you can get in a video game where you just play for like 5 minutes and you're level 20. I thought there was the same way that I could just find this technique out there to make studying, to make not doing the bad habits like going on the hub in video games. I thought there was a way to make these habits feel just as fun as a game. And so what would I do? I would just BS around. I would do nothing because even though I would watch these videos, nothing would work. I would get clickbaited by these BS influencers telling me, "Oh, just do this." The brain mind connection you can use to make studying feel like video games. All that BS that I consumed would do nothing for me because the truth is, if there was a way to make studying, to make working out feel easy, guess what? It would be common knowledge, dude. Like, I wouldn't be gatekeeping this from you. The reason that you're stuck right now, the reason you don't do the good habits is just because you have this belief, this desire to find a way to make the good habits feel like really easy. And I spent 4 years trying to find it. And guess where that got me? It got me jack shit. The truth is, you won't make any progress. You will not make any progress if you continue this delusion of trying to find a way to make the good habits feel easy. Because, dude, if it was easy to work out, if it was easy for me to work out 200 times and lose 15 pounds, if it was easy for me to wake up early and actually study and do the things that nobody else does nowadays, right? Like, think about it. Less than 10% of teenagers probably work out. Maybe 10%. Because the truth is, all of us want to lose fat. Every single fat kid out there, including me, wanted to get shredded. But most of us don't do the work that it takes. And I'm not saying this as if I'm Mahatma Gandhi and I've suddenly cured cancer with my work. All I'm saying is, dude, all of the goals I've hit so far, getting straight A's, working out consistently, quitting my addictions, losing 15 pounds, that took pain. It took suffering. Because the truth is, if you're trying to find a way to make the good habits feel easy, guess what? Everybody else is. And that's why everybody else is usually just a fat ass with zero good habits. And here's my point. Is if you can take away one thing from this video, I just want you to be this thing. When you do something that's easy right now, like for example, you play video games, you eat junk food, you goon, it makes future you's life worse. Because basically what you're telling future you is, okay, future you right here, look at me in the eye. I hate you. I want to take your happiness because I want to feel happy right now. Here, how about this? I want you to be miserable. So how about you deal with the consequences of eating a bunch of crap food, of eating a bunch of junk food, of going on the hub and screwing my dopamine over. I want you to suffer so I can feel pleasure right now. That is what all the bad habits do to you. And so here's my point. If there was an easy way, I wouldn't be gatekeeping it. It would be well known that, oh, if you just do this, suddenly it'll be easier to lose fat. It doesn't exist. And it's better that way. And I'm passionate about this because fixing this one belief, this BS in your brain, is the only thing stopping you from losing fat, getting straight, is whatever you want to do. We can send people to the moon right now. We can develop all these cures for all these diseases. But the one thing that we have spent thousands of years as humans trying to do is to make the good habits feel easy. And nobody can do it. I read all these philosophy books right here, like On the Shortness of Life by Seneca. I've read these books about all of these war heroes, all these prime ministers that literally impacted millions and ended wars. Here's the truth. They didn't have it easy, and that's why we see them as so great. And so in the same way, when you look at someone who's jacked, when you look at someone who gets straight A's, you respect them a little bit more because, hey, they actually did some painful stuff to get there, right? And it's the same thing for you. And so you have to accept the one truth I'm going to give you right here. There is no way to make it as easy as video games. And if there was one, then it wouldn't be special anymore, okay? Now that you understand what's been holding you back, we can go on to the next step, which is I had to decide once I got rid of that video game fantasy of trying to find a way to make it easy, which doesn't exist. The next step that I used to cure procrastination is I had to do something where I decided I didn't want to be a loser anymore. And here's what I mean by this. School essentially wired us to just be these loser faggots that do zero actual good habits. Because what's happened is that over the years, you have your fat little middle school teacher telling you to do this work that you would rather not do. You have your dad yelling at you from downstairs to go and study, to stop wasting time on the laptop, beta, go and do some studying, oh my god. And so what happens is that over time, you get conditioned. You believe that, okay, work, good habits are things that I would rather not do. And basically what happens after that is you become a loser, because if you do none of the good habits, that means you're only going to do the bad habits, which means you're just going to get fat, you're going to get lazy, you're going to stop doing the good habits. Now, here's my point. The work isn't going to get any easier, but you can find a way to reframe it. See, there was this one guy that I want to talk about. It was from this book called The Laws of Human Nature. And in it, there was this one man called Viktor Frankl. He was a Jewish guy during Nazi Germany's reign, which basically meant he got sent to a concentration camp. And he was a psychologist. So what he did was he looked at everybody and he said, okay, everybody's going through the same torture. Everybody's getting harassed. Everybody's getting starvation. Sorry, that's not a word. Everybody's being starved, right? And there were some people, but even through all that, were able to make it out, while there were other people that just collapsed and literally didn't make it through a few weeks. Here's my point. Everything that he saw was the same for everybody. Everybody got the same treatment. Everybody was the same prisoner in the same camp. The only difference was some people viewed the pain in a different way. Here's my point. Here's the thing that genuinely made losing fat, quitting addictions, and literally just achieving my goals way easier. The work is painful, but you can reframe it in a different way. Instead of saying, oh my god, it's so hard to study, I guess I'm not going to do it. Why not just reframe it and realize, okay, wait a minute, it's difficult, and that's why nobody else is going to do it. And that's why, if I do the studying, I'm going to get ahead. Here's my point again. This is the most important part of the video. When you're a teenager, where we are right now, if you're 12, 13, 14, you're almost like the guy who just spawned into the game. And most people right now at our age literally just distract themselves and don't improve at all, right? You've seen this. You've seen everybody in a class just like literally openly discussing how they gooned. I've literally had conversations with people that tried to defend scrolling and gaming and going on the hub because, oh, it actually improves testosterone and video games make me more creative. That's 90% of people. And that's why 90% of people are miserable, right? That's why 90% of people never achieve their goals, including me for the longest time. So instead of just trying to do what everybody else does and complain and say, oh my god, it's too difficult, I don't work out because it hurts, which I've genuinely heard one of my friends say, right? Just reframe it. Literally just tell yourself, okay, the pain is what develops me into the person that can keep the goals I want. See, this is a really interesting analogy. If I snap my fingers right now and suddenly you got jacked, like me basically, I'm still trying to lose fat, but anyways, if you're literally, as I snap my fingers, just get jacked, if you literally just lost 15 pounds, would you keep it? Would you literally just use willpower and just find a way to keep all of his results you just got. No, you'd probably gain back the fat. And I'm not saying this to insult you. What I'm saying is, because you didn't go through the hundreds of workouts, that for example, when I had to lose fat, if I just got it freely handed to me, I would gain it back again. But because I've gone through 150 workouts consistently, I was able to lose 15 pounds. I was able to stop looking at myself as the fat kid. And so the work is painful because it develops you into someone who can keep the results. And just like the guys at the concentration camps, the pain is going to be the same regardless, but you can find a way to reframe it. You can find a way to keep going. And that's only when you get rid of this pussy belief of, oh, the work is hard, so I'm not going to do it. And instead realize that this is how you get ahead at our age, dude. And I'm saying this with a smile on my face because genuinely, I wish I just do this a few years ago. Now, we've gone over the reason that you've been procrastinating, and we've gone over how to reframe it so that you actually more likely to do the work. But now I'm going to go over the more actionable part of the video. I'm going to go over exactly, now that you know why you're procrastinating and how to get out of it, I'm going to give you exactly what I did to start doing the good habits that I would tell myself to do. Because again, you don't care about stopping procrastination. You clicked on this video because you want to lose fat. You want to stop being fat shamed. You want to stop looking at yourself as the faggot that doesn't do any of the good habits. And so, how do we do this? Well, why don't we look at something that's really addictive like video games and try and implement what they do to make the good habits more fun? Now, imagine if I want you to just visualize this with me. Imagine that you just spawned into a new video game. You see the whole biomes, you see the monsters in the distance, you see that cave that you're going to explore later. And suddenly, what usually happens at this point? You hear that quest icon, you see it pop up on the screen, and suddenly you're given your first starter quest, your first objective of the game. Okay, go and talk to that NPC. Okay, get a sword from him. Now go and kill the level 1 monster. Okay, now, what usually happens after this? You get hooked. Because at the start of the game, what usually happens, you get all these quick wins. You get rewarded each time you kill the level 1 spider. Every time you get your first piece of iron armor. Every time you make just a little bit of progress, you get rewarded. And that's how they hook you. But what usually happens in real life? What usually happens? Well, we tell ourselves, okay, I'm gonna study today for 2 hours. I'm going to quit all video games. I'm going to stop being that faggot in the friend group that plays video games. I'm going to instead study. I'm going to work out. I'm going to start reading. I'm going to start meditating. All of these different things we tell ourselves we're going to do. And then we quit after just a few days, right? And why do we usually quit? Well, it's because we did those things. And A, you didn't see results fast enough. And B, you literally just didn't do it for long enough. And why didn't you do it for long enough? Well, you weren't rewarded for when you did the small results. Here's my point here. The reason that you're probably stuck right now is that you have this ego. And I'm not saying this to insult you. I say this because I also had this ego where I would do this thing where I would tell myself, okay, I'm going to change my life just like that. I'm going to quit all my addiction. I'm going to do this. And I would never stay consistent because of the fact that I raised the difficulty level too high. I told myself, wait, if I don't study for an hour, nothing's going to happen. So I'm just going to study for an hour and a half today. Even though for the past 30 days, I didn't do a single study session and I didn't have any real reps in the game. So what would happen is, it's almost like I would try and start the game by trying to fight the level 20 boss at level 1. It was too difficult. When you set the difficulty level way too high, you get demotivated so quickly. And you've probably seen this too with yourself and some of the things, like you've tried to achieve some goals, you tried to actually quit some of the bad habits you have, but you make the difficulty level too hard. So how do we fix this? Well, the action step I'm going to give you is something I learned from this book right here called Atomic Habits. And learning this one thing genuinely made me lose over 15 pounds. I'm not even joking. If you take away this one concept, you're going to lose so much more fat. You're going to lose so much of whatever. You're just going to get way quicker at achieving your goals. Well, here's what it is. Literally think of the habit that you're going to do right now. So for example, you want to study more. You want to get straight A's. You want to work out more. You want to read more. Literally, instead of trying to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to read or I'm going to work out or I'm going to study for an hour, literally just study for 2 minutes today. And you might say, wait a minute, what in the hell? 2 minutes isn't going to do anything. But that's not the point. The point is when you tell yourself, I'm going to study for an hour, you're not at that level yet. But if you study for 2 minutes, which you could definitely do, right? That is more aligned with the level you're at. And so when you study for 2 minutes, literally just 2 minutes, you wake up and you read one page of a book you want to read, or you do one page of the math workbook, or you literally just do one question. What happens? You get a little bit of XP. It's not much, but let's say you work out for 2 minutes, you might get 1 XP. And by XP, I mean you make a little bit of progress. Here's what's important. If you work out for 2 minutes, literally every single day, it might not do much. Physically, you might not look that much different, but you got every single day that 1 XP. You showed up once. You just got a little bit more consistent. And so what happens now, after a week of just studying for 2 minutes every single day, you've leveled up. You've gotten more familiar with it. You're more inclined to do more. So now, for example, you can study for 10 minutes a day. Then you can study after a week for 20 minutes a day. Just like in a video game, you have to slowly increase the difficulty as your level also increases. And your level only increases when you do the habit. So you might say right now, oh no, Tharv, I could study for an hour. 2 minutes isn't enough. It wouldn't do anything. If you could study for more than 2 minutes a day, you would already be doing it, dude. So don't give me any of that BS like, it's not going to do anything. That's not the point. You're not trying to get jacked off of just 2 minutes a day. You're just trying to get the reps. And once you do it, trust me when I say, suddenly you'll be like, holy crap, I'm in such a retard in my life. Because when you just do what I'm telling you right now, you just spend 2 minutes a day doing the habit. You just spend 2 minutes a day for a couple of days. You've just gained enough XP to then level up and do more. But you can only do that when you start where you are. So you can either just procrastinate on this video and not take any action and stay where you are for 6 months before you finally take this advice. Or you can just shut the hell up and do what I'm saying, because genuinely it made me lose over 15 pounds. And your life is going to change once you use that advice. I hope this video is valuable for you. This is literally just everything I wish I knew back when I was that fat little gooner from 8th grade. And one more thing I'm going to tell you is, dude, this journey is already really difficult, right? If you clicked on this video and you watched all the way, you've probably been struggling for a while. You'll probably want to make progress, but it's just difficult because nobody else in your life wants to. So if you want somebody who can relate to you, who can literally hold you to the process of building up good habits, of quitting your addictions, of losing fat, of getting straight A's, then in the bottom link of the description of this video, I've just put a link to this Calendly app that you can just schedule a free value call with me. And you can just get free value from me that I can literally just give you the step-by-step guides that I used to improve my life. And you can do it in a one-to-one way. So if you like the way I'm speaking to you, if you like the advice that I just gave you in this video, and you want to make faster progress, go and join that link. Go and just schedule a free call with me. And as always, my name's Atharv. See you soon, bro.